What's going on, guys? It's Sam, the Raid Man. We just got announced the exciting news that we're going to be having a new, I don't even know what you call it, like crossover partnership with Raid. So last time we've had a few different ones. I think the most famous one's probably the Asgard divide. So we got Thor, who was a fusion. We also got Xena, warrior princess. That's another crossover. You can see her little thing at the bottom right there. Freya from the Asgard, Odin, and then I think there's one more I'm missing. Oh, Loki. And then from Monster Hunter, that's another crossover we had. We have Ner Gigante Archer, and where is he? Somewhere in front of my eyes, Rathalos Blade Master. So we've had these different crossovers in the past. We just got He-Man, that's another one. We have Ronda Rousey, Ninja, all these people, or people that are being made characters in the game that are coming from other universes, whether that's our reality like Ninja or Ronda, or a different universe. And the way that works is typically Raid has to pay them money. So for He-Man, Monster Hunter, things like that, Xena Warrior Princess have to pay them money to use their IP, their rights to that product. The only exception to that would be stuff that's in what's called the public domain. And what that means is it's anybody's to use with. So a lot of mythology is in there. So that is where the Asgard divide falls under. You can go make a movie about Asgardian gods, and no, you don't have to pay anybody to do that because it's public domain. If you want to make a movie about Monster Hunter characters like Rathalos, you would have to pay them money. Another example of that is Hansel and Gretel, who just came to the game. This is also public domain, meaning Raid did not have to pay anybody to put Hansel and Gretel into the game because that's from mythology. So all of this to say, I was curious and I started to ponder, and I'm curious if you guys want to know as well, what is the next crossover is going to be? We just got the announcement. That's what sparked my idea for this, that Alice in Wonderland is going to be coming to Raid. We know probably for sure Alice, probably the Mad Hatter. Those two feel like locks. Potentially the White Rabbit, and maybe the Queen of Hearts. I know Hell Hades made a video about it. Kind of got me sparked onto this whole topic. So we know Alice in Wonderland is coming. We just talked about all the different crossovers we've had. So what do we think could be the next ones that are coming? Super quick announcement, got some pretty exciting news from Plarium. I now have my own promo code. So if you want to start a second account, or if you want to start your first account, if you've never played Raid before, you can use this link code to download the game. I showed this in one of my videos, but basically if you use this code, it will give you a free Karato, Fox Hunter, and 3 epics, Fane, Romero, and Vergis. And here it is, but I'll go ahead and put this in the description of my video. If you use this, you will get, like I talked about, the legendary champion from the Shadowkin faction, Karato Fox Hunter, who's a good damage dealer and pretty good control. You will also get Fane from the Skinwalker. She's a good damage dealing epic, particularly good for clan boss. You will get Romero from the Sacred Order, who is a partner champion, and he's pretty solid. And then lastly, you will get Vergis, who is from the High Elves, and he is a really good tank and kind of like defender type champion. Pretty cool looking too. So a great kickstart if you want to start a new account, or like I said, if you just want to start a second account, you can also pair this code with the Monkey King code or the Superpowers code and get one of those great champions as well. So I'll try and throw up some graphics on the screen, or get the editor to throw some graphics up. I think one of the easiest ones is going to be anything mythology related, anything medieval. And so I think King Arthur, that's also public domain. So you can have, King Arthur and Lancelot, all the Knights of the Round Table. And we've already got lots of knights in the game. They can go in the Bannerlord or the Sacred Order faction. I think they could fit in really nicely. They're all just knights with big swords and armor and stuff. You see a lot of people that are going to look like this. I think that's a simple fit into the game. There is a King Arthur game that I've seen some people are playing that seems pretty popular at the time. So I think that one makes a lot of sense. We could see some King Arthur crossover in the future. Similar to that, we have a few people that are in this vibe, but they're not quite here, and that would be Robin Hood. And I'm trying to remember who I've seen. We have some like archers in the game that kind of look like they might be from Robin Hood. This guy looks like he could be a Robin Hood character. Of course, he's a common champion. But Robin Hood, also public IP, I believe. So like, why not have a Robin Hood? You have Friar Tuck, you got Big John, you got all the different characters. A lot of people grew up on that. A lot of people have some relevance to that. They relate to that story. A bigger IP, I don't know if any of these, the next few are going to be bigger, are possible or not. I think it would be super successful if they could manage, a reasonable deal. Would be Lord of the Rings. Some of my favorite movie trilogies. I actually have a shirt downstairs that I just bought, a Lord of the Rings shirt. Big fan of Lord of the Rings. Probably my favorite trilogy. But yeah, huge IP. People love it. I think it slots right in here. You've got orcs as the bad guys. You got wizards. You got dwarves. You got elves. And then you got men. It's like everything's in here. You got everything in here. You got it. And again, those characters are so big. People will shell out money. I will shell out money for Lord of the Rings characters. So I think that's a slam dunk if you can get it done. The only reason I would say that might not happen is because they probably have to pay Lord of the Rings too much money. Another game that I think could see a potential crossover with would be World of Warcraft. Again, a lot of people are going to be crossing over. Raid is typically an older fan base, so a lot of people that play Raid, you guys might have played World of Warcraft. I know some of the creators I've talked to played World of Warcraft. I've dabbled, but not really seriously. But again, you've got orcs and you've got elves and you've got some of the factions that are already in there. Whenever I see Whirlwind Frost King, I think of the Lich King from World of Warcraft, from that trailer. I never actually played the Lich King DLC, but I just remember seeing him, and that's what that reminds me of. So I think that another simple one. Again, depends if you can pay, don't know how much that would cost. Another video game, this one I have played, and they used to have a mobile game that I thought was really good, and it kind of just died, which would be the Dragon Age video game series. So Dragon Age Origin, Dragon Age Inquisition, all the different Dragon Age games. A lot of dwarves, elves, monsters, creatures. Super cool, super fun. Probably, in my estimation, wouldn't be as expensive. But again, similar vibes in my mind of like that universe and this universe feels like they could be, have a crossover. All right, and then two more. One top of mind, my wife and I are watching House of the Dragon right now. Super good show on HBO Max. Game of Thrones, I think that's a slam dunk. The only downside of Game of Thrones is it's not near as mystical. There are dragons, but you're probably not gonna put dragons in the game. I mean, I guess you have, the closest would be Dracomorph, basically a dragon, and Drake, wherever he is, basically a dragon. And then kind of to counter that, you have Staltus Dragonbane. So, I mean, I guess there's stuff that's saying there's dragons. I just don't know if you'd make a new faction for like Beast or something, which would be cool. But I don't know where else dragons would go. So everyone else would kind of be a human, which means pretty much Bannerlord, Sacred or Barbarian would be kind of where everyone else has to go. I guess maybe you get like White Walkers, you could put them in one of these. So yeah, I don't know if that's perfect synergy, but again, so popular, so big, people love it. If they can get it to work, obviously I think it'll be a slam dunk. And then lastly, I think they will do this one. I'm pretty confident they'll do this one. I would say this one and King Arthur would be the two that I'm most confident in, both of them being public domain. I think the other one is going to be similar to what we saw with the Asgardian mythology. I think we're almost guaranteed to see Greek mythology. I think it's more popular than Asgardian mythology. I think you're going to see Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, those three for sure. We already have a content creator, Hades, obviously the people love. There's the 12 main gods and there's so many more gods. There's also all the heroes. You have Hercules and you have Jason, Odysseus, all of the different ones. So like Perseus. Anyways, big fan of mythology. I think that would be a slam dunk. I think there's no limit to what you can do. Skinwalkers, you've already got a Minotaur in the game, but there's villains too. We have the Hydra and the Minotaur. Those are all Greek mythology villains. So we have like bosses, right? Like this is from Greek mythology. This is from Greek mythology. This is in Greek mythology, the Chimera. Not just from that, but they're all featured there. So I could see it happening. I feel like it's a niche plugin. It wouldn't even have to be like a big, we're doing Asgard. We can just add Greek characters into the game from Greek mythology. And I think that'd be a perfect fit. So anyways, I just think it's fun to theorize about. Let me know in the comments if I miss anything that's like glaringly obvious or just something that'd be super cool, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff I think would be cool. I just don't see it happening. So I was trying to pick stuff that I think is more feasible. And I could see that actually going into the game. So depending on if they could get some deals done or if they have the desire to, I think all of those would be pretty cool and pretty fun. So anyways, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see y'all on the next one.